But as I did research into the series and the creator of the story, I started to understand why there might be not nearly as a heavy influence on the story. The author of Toriko is Mitsutoshi Shimabukuro. While Toriko was airing and still releasing chapters, a past conviction of the creator came to light. The creator of Toriko was convicted in the past for soliciting and you can fill in the blank for that. You all know exactly what I am talking about when I mention that. From what I understand, the conviction was before he ever released Toriko, and it was public, documented, and it was a very serious thing. However, he did serve time for it, and he lost his career when he was originally working for Jump before. But Jump decided to bring him back, and Toriko was supposed to be his second chance back in the sphere of anime or manga creation. And of course, for people who probably found out about it the first time around, audiences were never really happy about that. Even years later, as Toriko was airing and publishing, the controversy apparently remained in the public eye, but it was kind of like an unspoken barrier. It didn't dominate headlines, but it influenced decisions behind the scenes and reactions in the fandom. Toriko was never really allowed to become a symbol of Jump the way that One Piece and Naruto was. Its visibility was very much controlled and restrained, and its marketing was held back a lot more. And one of the major things was that its anime, when it was released, it became very sanitized and very quickly ended as well. And of course, naturally, you can't build a long-term cultural momentum when a creator's name realistically can trigger a lot of discomfort. I understand the feeling of that because I am a big fan of the series known as Rurouni Kenshin. That is one of my all-time favorite stories when growing up because it's one of the first animes I ever watched, and realistically one of the first mangas I decided to ever actually want to read. And of course, when I was younger, I didn't know anything about the author or anything about that until I grew older. And when I learned about the backstory of the creator and what he did, I grew very uncomfortable really loving this series, and it was very hard for me to deal with. And I actually want to pass this question to you guys, because I still love Rurouni Kenshin. But as far as I'm concerned, in my mind, the author doesn't exist. As far as I'm concerned, Rurouni Kenshin was created by a shadow figure, and I will never know their name. So anytime someone asks me, it's like, oh, do you condone the author's decisions? I would usually say, I don't know who you're talking about. And to clarify, I am not saying that I'm trying to ignore the man and ignore what he did. I'm simply saying I do not recognize him as a human being. He does not exist to me as a human being. That's to clarify. So the question I want to pose, how do you guys deal with the separation of the artist and the art? Because I know that still even works in nowadays.